Rhys's complex is about time. All I know is that Rhys won't be the only one doing tonight. Ebony, that will happen approximately 3 minutes after you go to bed tonight. Okay, so we all know Rhys can be a little inappropriate at times, but he's not the only one. I do recall the very first time that Rhys and Ebony, or Rebony as they like to be called, were in Arden. It was many years ago now. Rhys is coming down to Torquay for a boys' night to have a few beers. On the way down he said, "Is it alright if Eb and one of her friends comes down?" And I didn't really think anything of it at the time, other than that they were just friends. We go out for dinner. As I'm fixing up the bill, Rhys and Eb head out on the outside. After paying the bill, I head out to see where they were, and as I looked around the corner, I see them making out like two little teenagers pushed up against the wall. At that point I thought, geez, these guys are really good friends. As we left the restaurant and started making our way home via the main beach of Torquay, I heard somebody call out, "We're going skinny dipping." Now, keeping in mind Rhys can be inappropriate, you'd think I know who called that out. But I couldn't quite work out the voice. But before I realised who it was, I see Eb and her friend streaking towards the water at full speed. Rhys turned and looked at me. He didn't need to say anything, he just sighed. Had he finally met his match? To this day, it is still the most inappropriate thing I've seen Eb do. Now on to Rhys. We all know Rhys. He's the life of the party. A funny bastard, even when he's not trying to be. He's an endless supply of TikTok content without even knowing it. Pure TikTok gold. Eb, you've done a great job in capturing the essence that is Rhys and sharing that with the world. That's right. If you haven't already, do yourself a favour, head over to TikTok, download the app if you have to. Rhys, this includes you. And search for the account, pain in my ass. And what you'll see, first up, you'll see the time where Rhys bought a house without Eb seeing it. 134,000 views. Then we have the time when, after drinking a few beers, Rhys thought it'd be a good idea to try on Eb's engagement ring. It got stuck. It had to be removed by a doctor. 358,000 views. Then deep down, we know Rhys though. He's a big softie with a whole lot of love to give. And he left his best content for the moments that really matter. That proposal video. 893,000 views, yeah! Now, the only advice I'd give to you, Eb, is to keep that camera rolling. On a serious note, we really love you guys. Eb, you're such a kind person. You do anything for the people you love, and I feel so lucky to call you a friend. Rhys, you're an awesome friend, reliable, a great listener, and I love how you can turn even the simplest situations into a funny moment. I know that you guys will be so happy together as husband and wife, and I can't wait to see what adventures you have next. Woo! No booze, that's later. Okay, so now Steph is going to say a few words, and then we'll be off to Courtney and Tris. Yeah.
I'm not very good at speeches, just a little. Alright, Eb, you are so wildly creative. Just look around at everything you've created for the wedding today. The flowers, the streamers, the trolley, the neon sign, the list goes on. Every little detail is amazing, absolutely magazine ready. Can I get a round of applause for the bride? As you can imagine, I've been hearing about the wonderful things Eb has been creating for the wedding over the past year. And every time she tells me about something amazing she's creating, there's Rhys in the background going, "But how much does it cost?" I could see Eb was getting tired of this question, but she'd take it in her stride and she continued to create the most beautiful decorations and details for the wedding. Eb, your persistence is key, and you're going to need this being married to Rhys. But the best thing about all these wedding decorations was that you didn't let Rhys know the final cost. We all know Rhys is always questioning this and questioning that, but Eb, you always win him over. A perfect example of this is the Wild Folk Caravan. Eb's dream was to have this flower van, and Rhys, being Rhys, was not keen at the start and started with the questions. But how much does it cost? And where are we going to store it? Fast forward 6 months, and he's at the Carry Market with a wild folk apron on, selling flowers like it was his idea.
I'll rock that shit.
This being said, this is what makes you guys such a great duo. You're always supporting each other, whatever dreams the other one has. You're both so hardworking and will stop at nothing to make shit happen. We wish you all the best, and we know we'll continue to support each other as husband and wife. Congratulations. I'll pass over to Courtney.
Trade.
Trade.
Hello everyone. Alright, tough act to follow there. But I think anyone that knows Rhys and Eb knows that they are certainly one of those opposites attract type situations. One of the few things Rebony do have in common is their love of travel. And on a side note, their love of randomly placed tattoos to commemorate said travels, but that's another story. In any case, if you thought that spending time with Rhys in the safety of your own country was dangerous enough, try taking him across international lines. Never a dull moment would be an understatement. To do this willfully and repeatedly, Eb, you've got nerves of steel. Like the time we were at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Rhys thought it'd be a great idea to reach over the rope and touch a landmine. A landmine. He was almost spear tackled to the ground by a shocked and horrified security guard. Rhys was also shocked and horrified to be also almost knocked clean off his feet by a large African American woman, and to learn in fact that it wasn't an interactive exhibition like Science Works. You can't touch the stuff just because it's there. The rope is generally a good indication of that. Another time, we were enjoying a lovely afternoon snorkeling the beautiful islands of Thailand. We knew something was sus upon hearing nervous giggles break out from the tourists in the area and noticing with a sinking feeling that Rhys was nowhere to be seen. This is never a good sign. Next thing we know, a bare, tanned, hairless ass is majestically gliding by, past the mums, the dads, the kids, the grandmas. The ass did not discriminate. The joke was on him though. The Rhys we know didn't have a tanned or hairless ass. Sadly, we did see it often enough to know that was the case. He was forced to admit that he had invested considerable time and money into ass hair removal and tanning in the solarium before our trip to Thailand in order to look his very best drinking elephant beers in his binglet. Something he's still not lived down to this day. Luckily for Rhys, one of his most endearing qualities is to have a good laugh even when the joke is at his expense, which is a really good thing because it really often is. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we know there's a vast difference between what Rhys and Eb consider a good time. Not that, your purse. You could say Rhys is a pretty energetic human. I wouldn't be surprised to learn he'd burst out of the womb screaming, "Sports!" and smashed out a 30k bike ride that afternoon. Eb, on the other hand, considers the trip to the front door to pick up her online shopping enough exercise for that day. There have been multiple occasions where Eb has threatened to disown us as friends for making her do anything at all physical. She still hasn't forgiven us for making her ride a bike 7 kilometres to a brewery, though, I might add.
On a highway.
Excuses. It's Queensland, there's no rules. Ollie is still very much in the bad books for an ill-advised hike of 13 kilometres. To this day, she'll interrogate us about any potential activities for distance and exertion level before committing to join in. Rhys, on the other hand, you could offer a 35k round trip on a 20-year-old bike in 30-degree weather for a single beer, and he would happily agree. This actually happened 2 weeks ago. Moment. While this could very easily turn into a 20-minute Rhys roast fest, we haven't even started on his driving yet. Today is all about our love for Rhys and Ed, and of course, more importantly, their love for each other. They are big-hearted, hard-working, and while they may talk tough, they are actually some of the kindest, sweetest, most generous people you'll ever meet. We are so lucky to be able to call them our best friends and wish them all the best for their big, beautiful, interesting, adventurous life together. Hang on, Eb, it's going to be a wild ride. We love you both. Yay.
Alright, well, as Rhys knows, I'm no good at speeches at all, so
Hold your
it's going to be
microphone out,
short.
firstly.
No. So, all I'm going to say is, raise your glasses for Rhys and Eb, the bride and groom.
Yay! Woo!
Everyone drink.
I've had a few words, so I only have one.
Any
Alright, Trez, do you want to introduce the next person? No, okay, I've got Ashlyn. Here we go. Sister of the year.
Alright. Two. Alright. Alrighty. Before I go any further, I would like to say, Ebony, you look absolutely stunning today, and Rhys is one lucky man. Rhys, you're not too bad either. It's an upgrade from your usual flannel and a BB outfit. I am beyond thrilled for you both and honoured that I was asked to make a speech, but I am going to have a little fun with it at your expense. I won't go too hard though, because, well, to be honest, Ebony, you still scare me at times with that resting bitch face, and we all know what that looks like.
What's wrong with it?
Sisterhood is one of the most beautiful and complicated relationships. Ebony, you are really one of a kind, and I'm so lucky to call you my sister. You always have my back and give me advice even when I don't want to hear it. You are caring, extremely loving and loyal, but as a sister, we didn't always see eye to eye. We argued, slammed doors on each other, always tried to outdo each other with comebacks, but as we always know, Ebony would win with a quick wit. However, as the years passed, Ebony became my best friend. I couldn't be more proud of you with everything that you have accomplished, from starting your florist business to owning your own home and now married to your soulmate. Rhys, oh Rhys, you're stuck now. I'd like to officially welcome you to our family. I always knew you'd make the cut. I wasn't sure that Ebony would find someone that would put up with her shit, but you're someone who challenges her, deals with all her craziness, and above all, put her in her place. And that's my favourite. You are also the one that makes her laugh, support her through tough times, and bring joy to her life. You are the best thing that could ever happen to her. And with that said, let us toast to a lifetime of happiness, and may the good times never end. Love you both. Cheers.
Yay!
I was good. I was so
Okay, alright, we've got Shana up next actually. Mr. Shane Cannon.
Yeah.
3 dot points for you. Alright, how are we, folks? Welcome to everyone that is here, come from far and near. Welcome to Jack and Paul into the Cannon family, and I'm sure vice versa. 2 funny things that were brought up there, Rhys's behaviour. I don't know how I put up with it. I really don't. And I actually don't know how it got here. I really don't know how it got here. The other thing that brought up is something that Ashlyn said, slamming doors. Now, I heard a recent story about that. We'll have to talk about that sometime, Tess, huh? All right?
I broke the front door 2 days ago. It's finding it too hard.
Mad at me.
We can't open it. We can get it up here.
They're a gorgeous couple. They've both grown up really well. They've both grown together really well over the 10 years, is it? Look, I lose count. All I can say here is that our family is very proud of you, as I'm sure Paul and Jack are, and their family. Your mum would be very proud of you. And it's just great to see everyone here. I love all of you guys. Thank you.
Well done, Shane. Good work. Alright, so now we have the mother and father of the bride, Jack and Paul. I think Jack's up first. Yeah, Jack.
Mine's pretty short and sweet, so here we go.
Sorry, excuse me.
Rhys? Hang on a minute, can we get Rhys a beer?
Oh, can I do thank you?
Who's doing that? Right, thanks, Ollie.
Do you need a
All right.
Do you need a paint in your life, Reese?
Right, let's start this. What things come to mind when I think of my Ebs? Perfectionist. Actually a real fussy bitch. Up front, you know where you stand, that's for sure. Champagne Charlie, look out. And she's a princess, a beautiful one at that. What things come to mind when I think of Rhys? Speedy Gonzalez, drives like a madman. Inappropriate. Not expanding here, as this goes without saying.
Wedding's ruined!
So Energizer Bunny, it goes 100 miles an hour. A morning person, definitely not. Okay, what things come to mind when I think of Ebs and Rhys? The Saints, both AFL and NFL. Rhys joined the family and Ev joined the Saints, much to her, I don't know,
NFL, not
excitement.
NFL.
Okay, NFL and AFL, no.
Or every Christmas I get a bit better and better.
Free to the Caravan, which they converted to reflect their personalities. Wild Folk Flowers, teamwork makes the dream work. Together, they've really made a successful business. Dude, who gives them both unconditional love and loyalty, even though he's broken. Ebs, I'm so very proud to be your mum. I didn't give you the gift of life. Life gave me the gift of you. Rhys, you just didn't come into the family today. You've been part of our family for more than you know. My heart is full of so much love for you both, and the years ahead will be twice as much fun, because when you share them with each other, you get to see each other smile. Have a magical night.
Hi guys, how you going? Mine's going to be short and sweet. Ed, what can I say? You're my buffet, my love, my daughter. There's nothing.
Favourite.
I don't think there's anything stronger than a father and daughter bond. And we got it. And now you've got the stones tattoo.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
That is even better.
You've been for years to get.
I have been, and it's in there now. I've watched you grow up to be an amazing girl. Woman, daughter. I love you to death. I'll stop now because I get emotional. Okay, I'll get on the rest, it'll be alright then. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next chapter with you guys. You know, you're fantastic. Rhys, first time we met you, mate, I said to Jack, he is a nice guy. And then we got to know you. And you turned out even better, mate. I couldn't wish for somebody else, or some other guy to take Ed to the next chapter in her life. Mate, we love you. Welcome to the family. That's it. No, I'll get off. I'll cry. Now it's time for me to go before I get all sentimental. But, yeah. Mate, Ed. Love you, mate.
Yay!
It is Ed's turn. She's very nervous, so make it hard for her. Supportive, so supportive.
Give me a microphone. Okay.
What's happening?
There is nothing quite like this. There is nothing like getting to address a room full of people you love. Thank you all for coming out to be part of our day. Each and every one of you plays such a special part in our lives. As you grow older, you realise it becomes less important focusing on the numbers of people you have in your life, and more important to only focusing on keeping the real ones. I would like to say a special thank you to a few people who, without them today, this day would never have happened. Di, our celebrant, she's still here? No, she's not. Oh, wow. I'll just skip that part. But we were blessed to have someone marry us that knew us and loved us. That was pretty meaningful. It was good. Craig, for spending days welding whatever I needed for today. That's Craig. 30-degree heat, welding, perfectionist. They're amazing. Sam, yeah. For Court, Drez, Chris, and Val. Don't know where Val is. For all your help with setting up the setup crew. It was a big job, and we appreciate it so much. Yeah. To Jackson, our legend of a photographer. Hey. Yeah, you. Making us look like.
So shy.
Making us look like 10s today, possibly 11s.
Yeah.
But, Photoshop.
Yeah.
The talented Mel for designing and tattooing us. Yeah. Dad, you've got Dad's approval over there with the tongue. The amazing band, The White Tree, who are probably out relaxing. Yes. And then also, as a Deb, Ken, Sue and Terry, I haven't forgotten about you. Reese will be doing the talking for both of us after my speeches, because as you insisted. Yep. Oh, you switch page. Yes, you, Reese, yes, you. Alright. To the cannons.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for accepting me into your lives and loving me for the sassy bitch I am. I'm stoked about officially becoming a canon, even though I don't think I could ever live up to your name, as your ability to be so laid back at times gives me a slight anxiety. You're not my in-laws, you're my family and have been for years, and I love you all so much. To Steph and Ollie, our awesome foursome, our family. You've both been without a doubt our biggest support system and our biggest fans. Oh, the MC. I'll never be jealous, only thankful of the bromance you and Rhys share. Because of you, I'm never forced into going on 30k bike rides or hikes that never sound fun, no matter how hard you both try. You push me to be the best person I can be. You have always challenged me and believed in me. Steph, my creative twin, our stylist queen. Today wouldn't be today without you. As much as you say I designed this, you set up, and I'll let you do you. You created the wedding of my dreams, our dreams, yeah.
I love pink.
Steph, I'm so thankful for you every day. You've always given up your time to be there and help me, and I couldn't keep Rhys in line without you. I truly believe you both make us a better couple and better people. We love you both and appreciate you both beyond words. Ooh, my next page. I'm not done yet. To my family, there are no words to describe the amount of love and appreciation I have for the four of you. All of you have taught me what it's like to be a daughter and a sister, and what it's like to be loved and be loved. Ashton and Jordan. I see Ashton, but I don't see Jordan. Oh, yeah. My brother and my big brother and my big sister. My first best friends. You honestly made it easy to be the favourite, so thanks for that. Growing up was always an adventure. From fighting over what way the cereal box sits in the middle of the kitchen table every morning, to Monopoly always ending in tears. I can say without a doubt, I love and admire you both more than you know. Mum and Dad, I loved you both first. You believed in me before I believed in myself. The love and devotion you raised me with is truly unmatchable. I look at you both and see what I want to be as a person and so much more. We've come a long way from when you first met Rhys to where we are today. I bet you didn't see this coming after our first dinner together. For those who don't know, you don't want to know. I don't know for a wedding, that's for sure. But somewhere, somehow, his inappropriateness and bad jokes won you over. You love, support, and accept Rhys for who he is. And we are so lucky to be close with you. Mum, Dad, who I am, everything I am, is because of you both. I will never say it enough, but thank you and I love you. Oh, almost done? To my husband, Rhys.
Yes.
I haven't seen. Oh,
That was good.
Are you okay, Jude? Rhys. All right. I haven't seen you that happy watching you walk down the aisle since we laughed at Dan Murphy's. For someone who didn't believe much in marriage, you sure had a lot to say about how a wedding day should go. It took a long 3-hour conversation of me explaining why Rhys walking down the aisle instead of me was not going to happen. But here we are, we made it, and I'm so happy. There are so many reasons that led me to falling in love with you. On top of that list is the fact that you love your family so deeply. But more importantly, is the fact that you adopted my definition as what family means to me and love them just as fiercely as I do. Rhys, thank you for loving me for who I am, as hard as that may be sometimes. And even though you've tasered me, left me on a mountain all alone in Japan because I was hiking too slow, and for being a crappy handyman, I still think I'm the luckiest girl alive, and I wouldn't want to start and end every day with anyone else but you. I love you.
All right, guys. Let's keep it short. Yeah. We're well over, so I'm very apologetic to Kitchen, the band, and the tattoo artist. So sorry. No, fuck the guests. All right. I did tell everybody that they need to keep it short, sharp, and sweet, but I ended up fucking up, and mine's like 4 pages. But don't worry, I'm gonna get through this really quick. All right. Let's start with the heavy stuff first. We all know that Mum couldn't be here today, even if she hadn't passed. MS robbed her of the opportunity to be social, and I'm not a religious man, but wherever she's gone or become, hopefully she's here watching now. Knowing Mum, she would have come back as a poltergeist, just so she could haunt Dad and throw shit at him for the rest of his life. All right, you miserable fucks. Let's cheer up a bit. A word of warning, there will be cussing, if you haven't noticed. Firstly, give a round of applause to the bridesmaids today. They look beautiful. Fucking pay attention, will ya? Jesus Christ. All right. Deb and Ken, I don't know if they're here at all. Oh, back there. Hey, don't worry about the staffy moment. That's all part of the fun, mate. That's awesome. Dude's fine. He's a little bitch. Thank you so much for everything. We fell in love with this venue when we first saw it, and just a beautiful little spot. And having you two as the owners was the cherry on top. You guys have been so easy to deal with and relaxed with all our requests, and we basically had an open bar here till the wedding. Anytime we would drop in for something, Ken would say, "Can I get you a drink? Would you like a beer?" Even on New Year's Eve, when we had a busload of people, friends doing a wine tour, and we thought we'd just stop by here for a couple of drinks and we were going to pay. We went up to and he said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And it was just amazing, mate, from the both of you. So thanks, guys, for everything. And we can't wait to party here tonight. And I hope we weren't too difficult. All right. T-Dog and Sue. All right. Eb and I are so happy that you could be a part of our wedding day. Sue. Oh, hello. Hey, Sue. All right. For those who don't know, T-Dog and Sue own Clyde Park Winery. I'm sure most of you have been there before, but for those who haven't get down there. Best award-winning wines, great food, and I still think one of the best views from a winery you'll ever get. There, Terry, that's your one plug. I've been working there helping out with weddings on and off for 8 or 9 years, and Evan came along and worked as well once we got together. I don't think I've known anyone who was more adamant about us getting married than Terry. Every time I would see him. So when you pop in the question, when's him getting that ring, etc., etc. Honestly, mate, you nag me more about it than Ed did. Now, I know you would have loved for us to get married at Clyde Park, and I know you guys understand the decision to go somewhere different. Just from working so many weddings there, we just wanted something different. As much as we freaking love that venue, we love your venue, we love it. So we still had to have you here today, and I'm going to do this seamlessly. Stop excited. How's this work? Oh, thanks, mate. On this day, and we're thrilled when you agreed to do the catering. I think everyone agreed the food is fucking delicious. I actually haven't had any yet. Not your fault, I think, building up to this moment, and then I'm going to get on it. You guys have always been so supportive of us and our business, and you really looked after us today, so we appreciate you so much. So Evan and I have got you a little present. So she's hiding in there, so we just got you a little present. She's staying away, that's fine. So Eb and I, the backstory here is my nickname for Terry is T-Dog. I don't know why, it just worked for me. Terry had an injury, he was out of action for a while, and Sue took over the wedding functions. So she became S-Dog. So if you'd like to open it up, come on mate, just no pressure. Just don't drop it, alright? Because they really suck. Alright. Bye. T-Dog, mate, yeah. And I'm the S-Dog too, mate. So, yeah, I feel pretty stupid though, because we just bought wine glasses for people owning a fucking winery. That's like buying an Eskimo a bag of ice. Like, but we had no idea what to buy. You guys got everything, so I'm hoping that it's something that you like. So, thanks so much for being here today. To our friends and family that all helped out today, you know who you are. The place is amazing. This is all because of the friends and family that came here today to make it happen. Drez, you had one last chance, mate. There you are. One last chance to keep it to yourself. But you signed me away. You didn't do that, then I could have got out of it. So, good dodge a bullet. I'm joking. Relax. Dark humour. And to all our friends here today, we thank you for coming. You're our nearest and dearest, and you all have a place in our hearts. But of all of the friends here, I do want to touch on the fact that big thank you to Steph and Ollie. Steph and Ollie own Peggy and Finn, which is the attire you'll see today. Chris Scott had it at his wedding as well. Shut up, everyone. You'll see the family wearing the ties instead of myself. Chris, you had your wedding, it's on here, instead of ties now. So definitely check them out if you want some awesome fashion. There's your plug. But honestly, the last few years with COVID and everything, you guys have been a rock for Eb and I. You've helped us with everything. From business to house to just needing to relax or vent. We both listen to each other's problems and somehow we offer each other excellent advice. At least I think we do. Helping us through the good times and the bad, we're just so identical as couples. Steph and Ebs are very creative. Ollie and I just love activities and drinking. Most times Ollie or I come up with the ideas and the girls just shrug their shoulders and go, sure. And Ollie, we are so alike in attitude to life, it's almost scary. I can move around. He'll say something like, we should do this. And I'll say, definitely, but we should also do this. And he'll go, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It was just like, oh, activities. Sports. Sometimes we even finish each other's. It's mental. So good.
4 minutes.
Yeah, boo. Alright, I'll get there. My family, I think we have gotten a lot closer over the last few years. All growing up and settling down, having little Darcy, who unfortunately just had to go home in our lives. We finally patched up our silly little argument with Jai, who actually would have been here today but dropped on me last minute, so he's not here. But the family's whole together with mum and love. And I only invite you. And Chloe will definitely be sinking some sake in Japan right now. We need to catch up more often, but life is busy. But I love you all and couldn't ask for a better family. Ed's family. Actually, I meant to say that part, let's just get into it. I wouldn't say my time getting in with the Travers was easy. Ed was only 19 and I was 27. There were some pretty protective males keeping an eye on me. Also, my inappropriateness was something that Jacinta was finding especially hard to deal with. Dare I tell the story? No. Okay. That's in here though. I was not feeling the move on. But over time, so came over for my first dinner at the Travers house for her birthday, and Jacinta had made a lovely beef Wellington, which was amazing. I love beef Wellington. There's beef covered in pastry. It's amazing. Anyway, I was having it. And I said, "Geez, this is so good. It's making me hard." Now the kids seem to think that was quite funny, but I don't. She's still eyeballing me now. I don't think I should have brought that up, to be honest. Yeah, and then the next day they told her that we think Rhys is quite inappropriate. Yeah, I know. But now you're my mother and father-in-law, so Anyway, over time they came to realise the larrikin I am, that I just like to joke, and I reckon I even broken just into down to almost my level. Still a bit of work to do, but getting there. Jordan, you've always been good to me, mate. It's great that we both have our love of the NFL and, of course, drinking. And now we're brother-in-law, mate, so I'm always here for you and your family, all right? Ash, where the fuck? There you go. I think you might intimidate some, but I know you are just a teddy bear. You are one of the most generous people I know and put others before yourself always. You are extremely kind-hearted. You are actually the first person in the family to accept me into the family, and I just can't say more about you, all right, mate? Like, you bought me my hoodie. That was awesome. I love that thing. Yeah. Oh, I love my hoodie. And I'm so proud to call you my sister-in-law. Jack and Paul. I'm sorry, guys, I'm getting there, all right? I don't think we're going to get going. Jack and Paul, where do I start? This will probably be the most serious part of my speech, surprisingly. As I know we like to give each other shit and have a laugh. I could not have asked for a better father-in-law and mother-in-law. You two are the most selfless, caring people I've ever met. The things you do for your kids is just amazing. And their partners get to benefit off that too. That's the best part. Paul, I used to think that my dad and myself were workaholics. I didn't know where I was going just then. I used to think my dad and myself were workaholics till you take to a whole new level, mate. You're not only working 6 days a week running your business, you're constantly doing stuff around your house, and then you're constantly helping your kids, especially us with the business and everything. Like, you're just always moving, mate. I'm in awe of you. You are Superman. Jack, you are an anxious, stressful person. But that is what makes you you. Always concerned what other people are feeling. Are they happy? Are they comfortable? Always think of other people's feelings over your own. You're such a caring and, I'm close to the end, guys, compassionate person. I will always make, and you will always make time to help someone. You both do. I could go on forever about how special you are. I would really like to hang some shit on you, but I won't. The best thing I think I can say is that not only are you family to me, but you're also like a couple of best mates. And I think that's the best thing you expect from a partner's parents. So, I love you both. Yay. And now for my beautiful wife. Yeah. Right.
Nervous.
We have exactly the same relationship as before. It just costs us a shitload of money to prove it. Who would have thought this is where we would be? For people that don't know, well, now that this was in there before it got part of the thing, but Ed was my wingman back in the day, as we were mates, helping me secure a few hotties. Obviously not as hot as you, babe. Yeah, not even close. Okay, this is going to sound morbid, but it's not. I always told Ed, before we were together, that I thought I was going to die alone. Not alone, but just without a partner. I tried a couple of relationships, or as I like to call them, relationships, and found them unpleasant, especially the breakup part. So I decided I would spend my days playing the field, not very effectively, until I couldn't anymore, and then I'd make regular visits to Thailand. This was a plan, to be honest. No, I'm kidding. Somehow, it's true though. Somehow Ed worked her magic and made me fall in love. I sometimes feel like we argue more than other couples, but then realise everyone does. And our arguments are always over the stupidest shit. Usually you bought another fucking towel and you're 20, or another bath mat where one should last 2 years and not 6 months. It should last 5 years really. A new candle. Oh, smell this. Oh yeah, it smells like burning money. No, seriously, what is it with chicks and candles? Fucking candles. So now we have committed to being a pain in each other's ass for the rest of our lives. But I'm glad it's you, babe, because I love you more than anything, forever and always. You're me.
Well done, everyone. There's going to be a lot more brewing later, Rhys, don't worry. Okay, so now we're going to move straight into cake cutting, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so let's get up. Oh, no, I haven't. So, after the cake cutting, we're going to encourage everyone to get amongst the games and the beers, and there's the guest book just inside the door on the right, so if you could all sign that, that'd be amazing. Cake cut. There we go.
Can I just say that Sue, is she in the kitchen? Oh, is she? Oh, well, Sue's made this cake and it was her idea to make it pink, not me. Just saying.
Thanks, Sue.
Wherever Sue is.
All right, Ed, let's do this.
You take a seat.
Dad, where's Dad? Where's Shane? Shane, can you help her? Move inside, please.
You see the lights flashing through, feels like freedom.